Saskatchewan has its own witness protection program. It's separate from the federal one. It came together because the police requested it. The provincial government made it happen in 2009. About 8 people have entered the program each year since then. The program is meant to offer temporary protection to someone who is testifying in court, but people are expected to leave eventually. This is a different model than the federal program, which protects a person for life. Saskatchewan's Public Complaints Commission is reviewing the case of a Regina couple. They say they lost everything by joining the province's witness protection program. The CBC's Stefani Langenegger has been looking into their story. She joins us now in the studio. Stefani, how did this couple get into Saskatchewan's witness protection program in the first place?
Well, Jill, back in 2015, Sean Balch and his partner Tammy Spooner were drug addicts who went on to become drug dealers. After being robbed a couple of times, Sean Balch began paying for protection from members of the Native Syndicate street gang.
I was currently selling drugs as a drug dealer, and some things went a little rough. I was set up by a gang, and they set me up and gave me a good beating, and just cleaned through my house and apartment and everything. Supposedly I owed money, but I didn't. And then, yeah, they turned around and I wrote a statement, right? Because I was a dead man either or, right? So I had to rely on the justice system, right?
So Sean entered the Witness Protection Program. This is a provincial program created in 2009 at the behest of police who wanted a tool to crack down on street gangs and needed a program for witnesses which would help with that. Tammy Spooner was told that her partner Sean was entering witness protection, and afraid she wouldn't see him again, as well as for her safety, she entered the program too.
So what happened next, Stefani?
Well, Tammy was flown out of Saskatchewan first because Sean was in jail on an unrelated matter. And she says things didn't go well from the beginning. She didn't get proper treatment for her addictions. The first place she went wouldn't give her the prescription medication she was on, nothing for withdrawal, and she was kicked out of there and sent to a Catholic-run home where she said she and other women sewed and prayed the rosary. And Spooner is religious, but she said this wasn't really treatment. Meanwhile, all of her belongings from her home in Regina, which she was told would be packed up and brought to her at her new location, were stolen when she was out of the province. She relapsed twice and was kicked out.
They asked me to help them, and I did, and I lost everything. I don't sleep at night. I'm terrified. I have mental health issues that I don't even go outside anymore. I'm too afraid. And they won't help me. They just let me go.
So Tammy Spooner has lodged a complaint with Saskatchewan's Public Complaints Commission. That office independently reviews the actions of police. Now, in this case, that would be the special constables who work in witness protection. Sean Balch is still in witness protection, but he too says it did not deliver the fresh start he had been promised.
And even at counseling, I'm only allowed so much, right? I was only allowed 2 counseling sessions a month. I'm a mess. I'm a freaking mess, right? They know that, and that's what pisses me off more. It's like, you just let me suffer.
What's next for this couple, Stefani?
Well, Jill, Tammy Spooner is hoping that the Public Complaints Commission will do a full investigation. Right now, they're just reviewing her concerns. She also wants compensation for those stolen belongings, everything she owned before she went into the program. And both she and Sean Balch say they don't want this to happen to anyone else. By the time Tammy Spooner was flown back to testify against members of the gang, she wasn't even in witness protection anymore. She said she didn't need to come back. She didn't owe anyone anything, but she thought it was the right thing to do. And when she and Sean and another man showed up at the preliminary hearing, 6 members of the Native Syndicate gang pleaded guilty and got a combined 30 years in prison. This is exactly what the Witness Protection Program was designed to do in Saskatchewan. But if people are unwilling to be witnesses, that's obviously going to hinder the program. The Department of Justice says for some people, witness protection does work. Some people have gotten clean and then gone back to their lives. Since this is a temporary program, that's what people are supposed to do, is get out of it. But Sean and Tammy say they did their part for the program, and now they'd like the program to keep its end of the deal.
Thank you, Stefani.
You're welcome.
Stefani Langenegger reporting in our studio tonight.